You all know the feeling of powerlessness, when it seems like life isn't going according to your script. I myself wandered for years in a labyrinth of doubts and failures until I discovered the 7 mirror principles. This knowledge changed everything. I want to share it with you so that you too can gain the power to manage your reality and start living the life of your dreams. If you are truly ready for significant change, this video is for you. At the end, I will share a practice that will help you break free from any negative scenario and teach you to ride the wave of luck and success. So right now, we will go through all 7 mirror principles in order. The first mirror principle. The world around you reflects your attitude towards it. Imagine 2 people waking up on the same gloomy morning. Both had a bad day before, and their mood is far from ideal. But one of them, let's call him Ivan, immediately plunges into a whirlpool of negativity. "Oh, not this rain again. My mood is terrible. Work is a nightmare, and there will probably be kilometer-long traffic jams." The other, let's call him Peter, tries to find positive aspects. "Rain is wonderful. The air is clean and fresh. I'll handle work. It's not the first time. And traffic jams? Well, I can listen to an audiobook." See how their attitude towards the same morning creates a completely different mindset. The consequences for them will be entirely different, because the world is a mirror and it reflects our thoughts, emotions, and expectations. As physicist David Bohm, the author of quantum theory, said, "Thought has a tremendous influence on how we perceive the world and, accordingly, on how we see it." Ivan, focused on the negative, programmed himself for a difficult, irritating day, and that's likely how it will be. Peter, finding positive sides, opened himself up to pleasant surprises and new opportunities, and it's quite possible this day will still delight him. Our reality is not something frozen, given once and for all. In fact, each of us creates our own layer of the world, like an artist painting on a canvas. Our thoughts are the brushes with which we create this picture. What is the power of thought? It doesn't just reflect what is, but it also forms what will be. Our beliefs, expectations, and fears all become material for creating our reality. If we believe that all the good things are already taken, then that's how it will be. The world will toss us proof of this belief. But if we believe in our luck, that the world is full of opportunities, then these opportunities will begin to appear on our path as if by magic. In psychology, this is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the most important thing is that we are not just passive observers. We have one true freedom, the freedom of choice. We can change our reality by changing our attitude towards it. If you've always thought that life is a struggle, that you have to fight for your place in the sun, then try this thought. What if the world is a friendly place that wants to help me? You'll see how, as if by magic, circumstances begin to change around you in a favorable direction. It's like a game where we choose the rules ourselves. The world, like a kind mirror, reflects our expectations, and everyone gets what they order, consciously or not. That is why it is so important to consciously shape your attitude towards the world. This doesn't mean putting on rose-colored glasses and ignoring problems. It's about learning to see the good even in difficult situations. All situations are needed for something. Nothing is accidental. Therefore, concentrate on the good, trust the world, and then you will see how the world around you begins to change with you. The second mirror principle. The unity of soul and mind quickly fulfills desires. This principle will teach you the quick materialization of what you want. Imagine you have 2 magic mirrors, one in your soul, the other in your mind. When the reflections in these mirrors match, a powerful force arises capable of embodying desires. This is unified intention. Most often, the picture is quite different. The soul strives for one thing, the mind dictates another. The soul craves love. The mind whispers, "Who will love you? You don't have money for this. This is unrealistic." As a result, Instead of a clear image of the desired, we get a blurry picture full of contradictions. It's no wonder that under such conditions, desires rarely come true. But when it comes to dislike, fear, or hatred, the soul and mind easily achieve unity. I hate this job. I'm afraid of getting sick. This person is disgusting to me. In such cases, both mirrors form a clear, powerful image, which unfortunately attracts into our lives exactly what we don't want. In transurfing, this phenomenon is described by the principle of the unity of soul and mind. When deep aspirations harmoniously coincide with thoughts and actions, a special force arises, external intention, capable of materializing the desired. But if the mind, based on fears, doubts, or others' attitudes, blocks the impulses of the soul, then the thought image becomes blurry and weak. As a result, you might go in the wrong direction for years, achieving what you don't actually need and not understanding why you are unhappy. Remember a situation where you went against yourself, trying to meet the expectations of others. Chose an unloved profession, connected your life with the wrong person, gave up on a cherished dream. Most likely, it didn't bring you satisfaction or fulfill your true needs. Now remember the moments when you acted from the soul, when your actions filled you with joy and inspiration. Perhaps you changed your field of activity, went on a trip, started doing creative work, or saw something that unconditionally should be yours. And most likely, as a result, you received joy, the fulfillment of desire, and a sense of happiness. The words of psychologist Abraham Maslow best illustrate this principle. A musician must make music, an artist must paint, a poet must write. If he is to be ultimately at peace with himself, what a man can be, he must be. He must be true to his own nature. Study your true desires, analyze your feelings, find who you can be without looking back at others. This is the very path to self-realization and the fulfillment of dreams. The third mirror principle. The world reflects your thoughts with a delay. Imagine you planted a seed of a beautiful flower, watered it, provided it with sunlight, and are eagerly waiting for the first sprouts. A day passes, two, a week, but the sprout still doesn't appear. Disappointment and doubts creep into your soul. What if nothing comes out? Maybe the seed was bad, or I did something wrong. Sound familiar? We love instant results. Press a button, get a result. Say a word, get an answer. But there are things in the world that require time, and the realization of our desires is one of them. The third mirror principle says that between a change in mindset and its manifestation in reality, there is always a time delay. Remember how you learned to ride a bike. Falls, bumps, tears. Many gave up, deciding it was too difficult. But those who showed persistence, who continued to train despite everything, ultimately experienced the incredible joy when it finally worked out, when they managed to ride a few meters without falling. That is why it is so important not to give up if you don't see instant results. Continue to work on your mental image, nourish it with positive emotions, believe in success, and then the desired will definitely materialize in your reality. You just need to be patient and not give up halfway. By the way, besides specific desires, you can create a pleasant atmosphere in your layer of the world, make it welcoming and responsive to your requests. Imagine you want to see your reflection in an old, dusty, tarnished mirror. It will be blurry and unclear, right? But if the mirror is new, clean, and even with a golden coating like Venetian mirrors of old times, the reflection will be bright, clear, and beautiful. It's the same with our inner world. We can cover it with the gold of positive affirmations so that it becomes more attractive to desired events. Here I want to share with you a very powerful affirmation. My world takes care of me. Everything is going as it should. Repeat it regularly, especially during both favorable and unfavorable events, and you will see how the world begins to reflect your new attitude, throwing you more and more proof of its care. And then, with systematic work on your attitude towards the world, a wave of luck awaits you. Your life will fill with joy, harmony, and abundance because you have learned to see in the world not an enemy, but a friend and ally. The fourth mirror principle. The world equally reflects the positivity and negativity coming from you. It's your choice what to transmit. If we constantly think about our problems, fears, and shortcomings, the world will throw us more and more confirmations of these negative attitudes. This is the paradox of unwillingness. We often get what we don't want because we invest too much energy into the very act of not wanting it. Remember, it is not circumstances that determine our attitude, but our attitude that determines the circumstances. The key to managing reality lies in changing our internal image, our picture of the world. Therefore, the fourth mirror principle states, the world makes no distinction between positive and negative. It impartially reflects everything you transmit. You empower it with this energy, make it significant, and as a result attract it into your life. That is why it is so important to learn to control your thoughts, directing the focus of attention to desired events and images. Instead of, I don't want to be sick, say to yourself, I am healthy and full of energy. Instead of, I'm afraid of being late, repeat, I always have enough time. Remember, the world is your mirror, and only you decide what your reflection will be. The fifth mirror principle. Always think about what you want, not what you don't want. Remember how, trying to get rid of an unwanted habit, you constantly thought about it, fought with yourself, and this only strengthened its power over you. Or has it ever happened that, inspired by a new goal, you saw the final result so clearly that you didn't even notice how easily and naturally your actions and habits changed? This is the power of focus. Imagine you approach a mirror not to once again see your flaws, but to find something good in yourself, to notice the positive changes that have already begun to happen. This is the peeking in the mirror technique. It helps us cement a new positive image of ourselves and the world in our subconscious. Of course, reality won't change instantly. Old reactions will try to return. Continue to hold your focus on the desired. Create a positive mood for yourself. Repeat affirmations. Watch positive movies and series. Listen to inspiring music. As Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Instead of spending energy fighting unwanted thoughts and circumstances, direct it towards creating an attractive image of your desired future in your consciousness. Visualize it, feel the emotions associated with achieving it, and allow the world itself to find the shortest paths to your goal. This leads us to the next principle, the sixth mirror principle. After defining a goal, trust the world to help you get what you want in a way that is favorable for you. Real control over a situation comes only when we give up this control, when we stop clinging to our scenario and trust the flow of life. This is the paradox of the sixth principle. The more we try to control the world, the less it succumbs to our control. But when we loosen our grip, when we stop resisting the flow of options, then the world itself begins to work for us, offering the best solutions. After defining a goal, allow the world to help you achieve it. We often cling to our plans, ideas, and beliefs, afraid to let them go, but life is constant movement, change, and transformation. And if we are not ready to change with it, we risk being left in the shallows while real life flows in a rich stream of options. Remember when you went to an unfamiliar place without a map or plan? You met people who showed you the way, how random events led you to the right place at the right time. Or has it ever happened that by overly controlling a situation, trying to calculate everything in advance, you encountered unforeseen circumstances that destroyed all your plans? This shows us that we can let go of the situation and trust the caring world. Of course, this doesn't mean going with the flow and doing nothing. Your task is to determine the direction and take the first step. Then be attentive to the signs the world sends you and respond flexibly to changing circumstances. Remember, you are not alone in this universe. There is a higher force that is always ready to help you if you allow it. Trust the natural course of things. You will see how the path to your goal becomes much easier and more pleasant. The seventh mirror principle. Every event has two paths, a favorable or an unfavorable one. A positive attitude leads you down the favorable path. Imagine you received a gift wrapped in dirty grey paper or newspaper. Some might disappointedly put it aside, deciding there's nothing interesting inside. But it's quite possible that underneath the unattractive wrapping lies something valuable and desired. We are so used to clinging to our ideas of how everything should be that we see the world in a distorted light. We turn potential good into a problem, like a capricious child who cries upon receiving a sweet apple instead of candy. The world is a neutral mirror that reflects our attitude towards it. If we see it as hostile, it will respond with obstacles. But if we choose a positive view, the world will respond in kind. This is the essence of the seventh mirror principle. Always perceive any event as positive. Even if an event seems unpleasant, it can bring benefits in the future. Repeat, everything is going as it should. The world always takes care of me. Remember the Chinese parable about the farmer whose horse ran away. His neighbors said, "What a misfortune!" The farmer replied, "Who knows what is a misfortune and what is a blessing?" And indeed, a few days later, the horse returned, leading a herd of wild horses. The neighbors rejoiced, "What luck!" But the farmer again said, "Who knows what is luck and what is a curse?" Again he was right, because his son, trying to tame a wild horse, fell and broke his leg. The neighbors came to sympathize, but the farmer was calm. Misfortune, blessing, who knows? And again he was right, because soon recruiters came to the village to take all the young men into the army, but the farmer's son was not taken because of his broken leg. This parable clearly shows that we ourselves choose how to interpret events and circumstances. We can see trouble and misfortune in everything, or we can choose a positive outlook and see blessing in everything. This does not mean closing your eyes to reality or refusing to take active action, but you must act not from a place of fear and resistance, but from trust and love for the world. Your path to a new reality. We are not pawns in someone else's game. We are the creators of our reality. We shape our world with our thoughts and attitudes, and as soon as we begin to see the world in a positive light, believe that everything is working for our benefit, our life begins to change for the better. First, we clean our mirror of the dust of fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. Then we create a clear image of the desired in it, the reality in which we want to live. We hold this image in focus, filling it with the energy of faith and gratitude, and gradually, step by step, the world begins to reflect our new reality. This process is not always fast, but it is inevitable if we act consistently and persistently. Each of us is like an alchemist, capable of turning our life into gold, and the mirror principles are the very formula that helps us accomplish this. Therefore, with the help of the mirror principles, you can break free from any negative scenario and begin to create a reality filled with joy, happiness, and success. As promised, here is a step-by-step practice for breaking free from a negative scenario. As soon as you apply it, within the next year or two, your life will change dramatically. Let's begin. Step 1. Awakening awareness. Start by carefully observing your thoughts and feelings. Imagine you are a scientist studying the uncharted territory of your inner world. If you are just starting your path to yourself, keep an emotion journal. Note not only your thoughts, but also the feelings they evoke, as well as the situations that provoke them. What thoughts cause you anxiety, irritation, sadness? What makes you feel depressed and powerless? To tune yourself to the wave of awareness, devote 5 minutes a day to meditation. Find a favorite spot. Assume a comfortable posture, close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Observe how air enters and slowly leaves your lungs. Make the exhalation longer than the inhalation and repeat, I see myself. I see reality. Step 2. Drawing the picture of your desired reality. Now it's time to look inside and ask yourself, what do I really want? How do I want to live? Don't limit yourself with other people's expectations. Allow yourself to dream boldly and freely. Imagine yourself as an artist creating the masterpiece of your life. Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? Who is next to you? What are you doing? What sounds, smells, and colors surround you? Feel this picture with all your senses. Fill it with bright details and emotions. This picture will become your guiding beacon, leading you to a new life. To clarify your desires, use the practice, How I Really Want to Live. It is described in detail in my Telegram channel. This practice will help you realize your true dreams and aspirations. Step 3. Programming your mind for success with affirmations. Now that you clearly know what you want, it's time to program your mind for success. For this, we will use affirmations, positive statements that reflect your desires and goals. Create your own affirmations that resonate with your true aspirations. Formulate them in the present tense, in a positive way, as if the desired has already happened. For example, I am healthy and full of energy. I am successful in my work. I am happy in love. I live in abundance. Repeat your affirmations every day, morning and evening, and also during the day when you need support and motivation. You can record your affirmations and listen to them throughout the day. Step 4. Learning to trust and let go of control. One of the most important steps on the path to changing your reality is learning to trust the world and let go of control. We are so used to clinging to our plans, worrying about unforeseen circumstances, that we forget that life is not only what we plan, but also what happens to us on its own. Allow yourself to relax, loosen your grip, and trust the flow of life. Don't try to control everything. Don't be afraid to deviate from the plan. Accept with gratitude everything life brings you. Remember the phrase, "My world takes care of me." Repeat it every time you face difficulties or doubts. To train the skill of seeing the positive in any situation, use the reframing practice. Every time something unpleasant happens, ask yourself, what good can this situation teach me? What benefit can I derive from it? This will help you switch your focus from negative to positive. And don't forget about a flexible action plan. Break your big goal into several stages and outline approximate steps you can take today to get closer to your dream. Take the first steps, and the world will adjust your path. Step 5. Gratitude is the key to abundance and happiness. When we are grateful for what we had, have, and will have, we fill our inner world with positive energy that attracts even more blessings to us. We begin to vibrate on a favorable frequency. Every evening, write down what pleased you today, what you are grateful for. Don't forget to thank yourself. Every step you take towards a better life is an act of self-love. Thank yourself for your care, for your calmness, for acting in your own best interest. Conclusion. Changing your reality is within your power. You don't know how much time you have left, so start acting today. Devote time to yourself, your thoughts and feelings. Create an image of your desired life and fill it with the energy of gratitude. Trust the world, let go of control, and allow life to surprise you. Be grateful for everything that was, is, and will be. And don't forget to thank yourself. And then you will begin to live the way you really want to live. I myself went through this path and can say that the mirror principles really work. At the beginning of my journey, I was also skeptical of all these esoteric things. But when I started applying the mirror principle in my life, I was simply amazed by the results. Things that once seemed impossible to me began to happen by themselves. I met my love exactly as I dreamed, with similar desires and a worldview that expands my picture of the world. I found an activity I love, not because it's prestigious. My chronic illness stopped bothering me, and I myself became calmer and more confident, realizing that happiness is now, not later. You will succeed too if you follow the mirror principles. Share this video with those who might find it useful. Write in the comments about your impressions and your experience. Your stories can inspire and support other people on their path.